Hey, I wanted to record this episode in Tiger's game room because that's become my studio, but he locked it. I don't feel like looking for his key today. So it's okay. It's fine. I can record in my room. He just locks it because, he has stuff in there that he doesn't, safety measures, he can't have the kids getting into stuff that they shouldn't. So, gotta lock your guns up properly. Welcome to another episode of Play With Your Dick, Not Me. We are on episode 19, right? I know I haven't really been too consistent. Like, I know when I first started, I was recording like twice a week, but that just became, sorry. Woo. I don't know what these other people were talking about. If you follow me on social media, you know that I just started my ketamine treatments. I popped one in my cheek about 20-30 minutes ago. I'm taking ketamine from this company called Joyous because I just can't make it fit into my schedule. Because when you take the ketamine at the clinics and it's like a psychedelic effect and all that, you can't drive. You need someone to pick you up, and you're kind of down for the count the rest of the day. And I can't do that. I got to work. And when you first start, they want you to go like twice a week for the first 4 weeks. And I mean, my job gives us mental health days, but we get it once a month. And when we get personal days and we get PTO, but like I'm running a property, I can't miss that much work. So it just didn't, it wasn't, it just wouldn't fit. What's the word? Conducive. I don't know. It just wouldn't work with my schedule. And so when you're talking about shit or thinking about shit and then it starts showing up on your social media, you don't even search it. You're not even Googling it, but you're talking about it with somebody. And then all of a sudden Facebook and Instagram and TikTok starts advertising it to you and shit, and Google. So Joyous popped up on my Facebook and I looked into it, did a little research and stuff. And so I got my first dose. And so, yeah, they kind of add you to a social media type forum after you start taking it. So you can kind of connect with other people that are on it and share your stories and share how it's making you feel. And a lot of people were saying that they weren't fully feeling the effects. It took some time to take effect for them. Like I just read a couple people's stories, like, varying, because they start you out on the lowest dosage. But I wouldn't say that I feel good, but they said you would feel a little lightheaded, and I'm definitely feeling lightheaded. I'm also kind of feeling a little high. I had my pen here, and I was like, do I even need to smoke this? Because I'm already feeling a little like relaxed. So I don't know, maybe I'll be one of those people where it kicks in immediately and starts to help me. I don't know. We'll see. But Joyous checks in with you and sends you questionnaires every day. Like I said, I haven't gotten my first questionnaire yet. I just started today, so I'll get my first questionnaire tomorrow, and they'll let me know, or I'll let y'all know about the process. But from what I've learned, they'll send you a questionnaire every day to see how you're doing, how you're feeling, how you're handling your dosage, and all that. And they have a doctor that you check in with and all that. But I don't know. I've been on semaglutide for the past 5 months, and I went from 35 pounds to 185 currently is where I'm at. So, and I'm still increasing my dosage every month on that because around my period, the food noise still comes back. So yeah, I ordered Arby's last night. And I only do that around the time I'm about to start my period, is because the food noise will return. But the rest of the month, I'm hardly eating. Just that week and a half before my period starts, my appetite increases just a little bit. Nowhere near as bad as it was before I got on semaglutide, where I would eat like a fucking bear the week and a half before my period. Now it's just like a little bit more. So I don't know, maybe that's why, because I'm kind of like not rapidly losing weight, but I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm speculating. Um, but yeah, it's been very shitty day. And I was feeling it heavy. But right now I'm like, oh, I'm okay. So yeah, maybe I'll be one of those people where it starts to work immediately. I don't know. Anyways, I am Sadie, aka Capricorn Clark. Like I said, welcome to Playthrough Dick Not Me, episode 19. I had wrote down a couple topics of stuff I wanted to talk about. Oh, and like I said, yeah, it was just getting too hard for me to do scheduled 2-week episodes with, or 2-a-week episodes, do all the editing, especially when I was doing video episodes, which I do want to start doing again. I just, I don't know. I will. Maybe the next one will be video recorded. Maybe the next one I can finally get Tiger on. Baby, are you locked in? Are you locked in? Okay. Oh, your hands are wet. You got to use a towel so you can unlock the door. Wipe your hands on the towel and then open the door, babe. Oh, no. I guess you're locked in the bathroom. Darn it. Hold on, baby. I'm coming. I saved you.
Can you get me a towel?
I think there's towels downstairs, my love.
No, a towel in the closet.
Bro. Okay, hold on. Let me see. No, but, oh, there are. You're right. You were right. Here, my love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, I don't know. So, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe for episode 20, I will do a video again. But yeah, it was just beginning to be too much because I already have a whole schedule put together. Bro, you didn't turn the light off. Oh, careful, baby. Girl, what are you doing? Close the door. Okay. You almost... I know.
And then turn around.
Love you. No, don't do that. You're going to hit your hand in the door. Yeah, it's just... I have a whole routine after I get off of work. And then my hours are different now. I'm 10 to 6 now, so I can take my babies to school in the morning. My youngest started kindergarten, and it's been nice. It's been really relaxing and just serene and peaceful, not feeling like I'm rushing in the morning. I get my oldest off to school, unless she has late start. Then she goes to school later, but, the mornings with my littles, I get to walk them to school and I get to watch my baby while she plays on the playground, before she goes in with her kindergarten class. And then I get to just take that nice little short, serene, meditating walk back to my home. And then I can get in my car and go to work. And it's been nice. I don't feel like I'm rushing, and I get to have that time with my girls in the morning, which I really like. Because when my schedule was 9 to 5, I didn't get to take my 9-year-old to school anymore. She would walk, or my husband would take her because I had to go to work. School didn't start for her until 9, and I had to be to work at 9. So 10 to 6 has been working. So getting off later, but my routine usually is, if I'm not too tired, I like to go to the gym after work. I like to go to my, Dirtylicious dance class and like twerk my ass off. And I haven't been to one of those in a while because my schedule's different. Or I just like to go run for, 30 minutes and just be at the gym for an hour or so. So it was just, I don't know, like, yeah. So I don't think I'm going to do 2 episodes a week anymore, but I also don't want them to be sporadic either, But it's just, things are still just kind of crazy, kind of up in the air still. And a lot of times it goes based off how I fucking feel. Like, there's really nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with, you know, checking in with yourself and figuring out and, you know, getting to the bottom of how you feel. Do you feel like doing this today? And it's okay. It's okay if you have a day where you really just don't feel like doing something. You're not lazy. You're not unproductive. You know, sometimes you just need to check in with yourself and maybe self-isolate, lay in bed, watch a comfort show, dance to music, read a book, you know. And I've had a lot of days like that lately where I'm just like, I've had an emotionally, mentally charged day. And the last thing on my mind is coming home and recording a podcast episode, even though I love doing this and it's been healthy and beneficial to my mental health. But there's also just not enough hours in the day. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I have a husband who is super needy and needs all my attention. He's on his way home now, so he'll probably walk through the door any second of our bedroom. And I had told him when I got off the phone with him 5 minutes ago that I was probably going to record a podcast episode before I got in the shower. And he started pouting because he's like, "What? You haven't showered yet?" Because he expects to come home, shower, and lay in bed and cuddle with me until we go to bed. And so he's now a little grumpy because he's like, "Great, you're going to record a podcast episode and then you got to shower and I got to wait for you to do all this." So, I mean, he's encouraging of my podcast. He's glad that I do it. He loves that I do it, but he also requires lots of attention from me. So, yeah. But anyways, so I had wrote down some topics a couple weeks ago. I've kind of been presenting them out of order, but that's okay. I can fucking do what I want. So that's okay. So this was kind of a, not concept, but something that kind of I became aware of a year ago or almost 2 years ago. Shit. Since I left my former job. And I had seen a post on Facebook or something about it, and it resonated. And I know, and I saw like a video that a therapist made more recently, which kind of addressed the same thing, but mainly she was speaking to Black women. But I'm just speaking to women in general. Those special group, select group of women who have ever been called difficult, hard to work with, a bitch. I'm specifically talking to that group. Because those are harsh words to be told. And people will usually use those words to describe us. But what they're really trying to say is, you aren't bending to my will. You're not allowing me to walk all over you. You're putting up a boundary and you're not letting me talk to you or treat you any way I want to. So I am now labeling you as difficult, hard to work with, a bitch. Those of us have ever been labeled that, I can guarantee you are none of those things. And I bet that you actually have a humongous, amazing, beautiful heart, and you have extreme empathy. You care a lot about other people. You care a lot about doing a great job. And you probably might even care about what other people think of you. But at the same time, when you get up in the morning, you know that you are a boss ass bitch. In a good way. Term of endearment. Not in the way that these people are calling you a bitch. But you know that you are a motherfucking boss. You know that you know who you are. You have fought your way back to yourself, whatever deep, dark, horrible thing that you ever had to go through in your life to get to where you are, because I can almost guarantee as well that you were a former people pleaser and that you were a former person who kind of let other people treat you like you were furniture and walk all over you, disregard you, discard you, act like your opinions and emotions and words didn't matter. And you got to the other side of that treatment, that pain, and like a phoenix rose from the ashes and became the motherfucking boss that you are. And you took those lessons with you and, you know, turn them into your sword, I guess. That's one way to put it. And you no longer bend and you no longer tolerate people's shit. You know what you want. You know what you need. You know what you'll tolerate. You know what you won't. And you're not going to settle for less. And especially people that knew you from your former life, back when you were a people pleaser, the people that you needed to set boundaries for, these are the ones that are going to be the loudest. These are the ones that are going to have the most issue with you now being a motherfucking boss. With you now being secure in yourself, not taking nobody's shit, not bending, not being a piece of furniture, not people pleasing, not letting people walk all over you, not letting people treat you however they want, not letting people talk to you however they want. Speaking up for yourself, using your magnificent, beautiful, glorious, divine voice and speaking your truth, not shrinking, not dimming your light, making yourself known. Heads are turning when you walk in the motherfucking room. You don't need a seat at the table. You brought your own damn table and chairs because you're inviting the other boss, the other motherfucking bosses to sit with you. Because, you know, if I'm eating, we all eating. Women empowerment. We aren't stepping on each other. We aren't using each other as stepping stones to get at the top. We are being a ladder and letting the rest of us climb up. So what I'm saying is, if that whole thing made sense, is you, again, to reiterate, you are not difficult. You are not hard to work with, and you aren't in the worst kind of way, because bitch can be used in so many different ways. It can be used as a term of endearment, and it can be used as an insult. But you aren't any of those things. It doesn't matter how many times you've been called hard, difficult to work with, or difficult, or a bitch. You aren't any of those things. And when they're being used in a negative light. Like I said, you're being called these things and being treated that way by people that are used to being able to walk on others, treat other people like crap, talk to you any kind of way, talk to you crazy, you know, treat you, you know, very disrespectfully. And they're used to people not speaking up. They're used to people just dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? And because you aren't that person, they have a problem with it. So you know, these words kind of got tossed around at me 2 years ago when I left my former job, or that at least was absolutely the vibe about me. Not so much the words were said, but it was definitely the vibe. They were treating me like I was difficult to work with because I was not just gonna stand idly by and be treated like shit and watch my team be treated like shit. And so I spoke up. The right type of people won't take it personally when you're standing in your truth, or when you're speaking your truth, or when you're trying to stand up for others. The right kind of person is going to hear you and validate you. They're not going to take it personally and get in their feelings and just try to dog you out and treat you, you know, disrespectfully in return. You know what I'm saying? They're going to hear you and validate you. But the people, like I said, that are not good with boundaries, that are used to people pleasers catering to them, bending to them, they're going to have a problem with you standing up for yourself, obviously, because they're not used to it, or they just absolutely will not accept it, or they're taken aback by it. Especially, again, if they're somebody from your past and they're used to your former self, and then all of a sudden you stand up for yourself and you have boundaries, they're going to have a hard time with that. And anybody that, I think I've said this before and I'll say it again, anybody that throws a fit about you setting healthy boundaries, are the people that needed fucking boundaries to begin with. Anybody that you feel you need to set boundaries for, even if it's a small boundary, if they are healthy, on their healing journey, evolved people, decent people, they're going to respect the boundary that you have to set. But if they are unhealed, volatile, insecure in some kind of way, have narcissistic or toxic tendencies, and they're not used to being told no, or they do not like to be told no, they're going to have a problem with it. All the more reason to enforce the boundary, you know? But yeah, so I just wanted to put this out here for the motherfucking boss ass bitches that are killing it in life, in the workplace, at home, in love, out in these streets, being single and being their most amazing, beautiful, wonderful self. Just getting up in the morning and fucking eating fucking awesomeness, sparkles, divine glitter for breakfast, and just, glowing in all their glory, getting up out of bed glowing, walking out the door glowing. Like, this episode was for you. You are not difficult. You are not hard to work with, and you are not a bitch. You're just dealing with, I'm going to say this, you're surrounded around weak ass people that aren't comfortable with a strong ass woman. That's all it is. That's all it is. They are not secure in themselves and comfortable standing in the light of a strong ass woman. So I'm going to cut this here because my husband's home and I need to shower. So I love y'all. I'm so proud of myself. I finally did a short podcast episode. Yes, my love, you may have a snack and then go brush your teeth. I'm so proud of myself. I can never do short episodes. I'm so proud of myself. But I hope this message resonated and it wasn't too all over the place because the ketamine has definitely kicked in. I don't think I need to smoke tonight. But I will keep updating y'all. If anyone is interested on Joyous ketamine treatment, I will keep y'all updated on how it's going for me. So again, I love y'all and I hope you have a good rest of your week. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Play With Your Dick, Not Me. Bye.